that is we can. A woman is supposed to be a binder. The woman is supposed to be a purifier. He, the woman, with most good attitude or have that women should be carried along. And when I say women, all classes.
Without the woman, you cannot be fruitful. You cannot multiply.
Man is everything. Refined product. It's a refined product.
Welcome back from the break, and it is the Wodi Talk Show, coming to you live from the studios of Wodi in the Federal Capital Territory, and we have here great minds discussing on the topic unity in our diversity. Let's go straight to Igwe, sir. How can we have a peaceful coexistence in a country like Nigeria with so much diversity?
All right. There is no other way except making up your mind, looking out for. You see, people who are divisive are not divisive because Nigeria is diverse. They are divisive because they are naturally divisive. And I'll quickly give you an example. I am an Igbo man from Ebonyi State. I used to tell people, why should I bother myself with the agitation and problem in Nigeria? Okay, let's look at the agitations my brother and me today. If we go to the moment we reach, only we Igbo know that there is what they call Agbenu and there is Wawa. And it's there. If you fast forward, come to Ebonyi State, you will see the highest level of clannishness. My people in Ohoza does not believe that Abakaliki people, they call it Jonah. In our language, so all this year you will divide and divide and divide. Come to your father's house. My father married 8 wives. So I will now say that my other ones are safe. They are not my sisters or they are not my brothers. I will not, so this thing is that people must be able to live to that level of psycho-spiritual gravity where these things do not matter to you again.
Exactly.
You look at somebody, look at how beautiful we are here. So I will now come and begin to look at this my sister and say, this one only. Instead of looking at her beauty. So look at the important thing is look at the humanness in you.
Exactly.
It's about humanity. In Nigeria here people talk about there's no problem with ethnicity. What is ethnicity? It's just about belonging to an ethnic group. Our problem here is ethnicism. When you are now Alpha and Omega is your ethnic group, you think in terms of your ethnicity, you will talk in terms of your ethnicity. Nothing matters. Even if it's you're an ethnic person is a thief, you say leave it our own thief. And that's the problem. And that is the thing that some of the crude and mischievous elite manipulate.
Exactly.
So it is about education. And education is not to go to classroom and write the chalkboard. It is about reorientation, national reorientation. Beginning to do, because look, we have stuff up here. And you see when people talk about division, I say you could not read books and you don't go to anywhere. All the people that have divided have then gone to Eldorado. Look at when South Sudan is saying, yeah, they want to go, they want to. We didn't know that there is the Nuers and the Dinkas until they are divided. Today they are in each other, so they have killed themselves far more than the other part of the Sudan ever did to them. People don't know, it's just that when people get their dissidents, begin to masturbate and get excited. So people must stop, reflect, look at it. It is a choice we have to make to embrace our unity. It is not something anybody is going to police us. We have to police ourselves. We have to understand that we are more. We talked about diversity. In one of my colleagues for government sleep is that there is also geographical diversity. Yeah. We have different kind of vegetation around the country, and all of them are to our advantage. Why would we go and be bleeding the Niger Delta because of oil when there is vast lands in the north that is wealth? I was a student leader. Those days when there was no insecurity, we used to run around this country. I used to boast. I used to tell people, there's no part of this country I'm not in. Is it this Magabama? We used to go, if you see the kind of fish we carry as students there, for little or nothing, that is wealth. Today we have abandoned all those things, then criminals are taking over all those places because we refuse to own our land. Everybody is running to Abuja and then facing the Niger Delta and then exploiting the desert. Who told you that the Niger Delta is the most? I used to tell people, I stand to be corrected. If we even do state by state, Kogi is the richest state in this country. They have all the natural resources, and all of them are needed in all over the world. We are not looking inwards. We are focusing the same problem. These things are not our problem. Our problem is our inability to look at the beauty. Yeah. This country has a lot of beauty, but because warped minds look at the dirty things and then promote it. And you see in this country, that is where you see somebody will just go and concoct hatred. Somebody sit down, create a story that can cause a war, and then release it to the social media. So when I see you will see that some people are satanic. It's not diversity that causes it. It's not.
Thank you very much. Comrade, we are in a political time now, and we hear about Christian, Muslim thing coming into the polity, causing confusion. Is that an advantage of multiple ethnicity, religion, and all of it? Is it to advantage or is it a contraction?
First of all, my mind is not made. There are some things my mind is not created or prepared to receive or know. So I don't know about Christian or Muslim. My mind has refused. So I don't see it, I don't know about that. And as a bona fide citizen of Nigeria, by birth, I'm guided by the Constitution, which is the conceptual framework upon which we are governed. And anything outside the Constitution and other acts of the Parliament and statutes of laws that regulate the affairs of Nigeria, I most of the time pay little or no attention. And one of it is religion. I'm a faith-based person, but I'm not a religious person. My religion is my environment. My religion is humanity. My faith is my belief. And salvation is personal. So I don't see that. Taking it to the Nigerian political system, the biggest crisis we are having right now is poor social contracts. The contract that exists between the government and the governed. The governed don't even know what is social contract. Social contract precipitates good governance. Without social contract, you can't even be demanding for good governance. But we're in a situation where everybody is talking of good governance. They don't even, the person that is even agitating for good governance does not even know what the social contract. But the elite, a microscopic few, who has constituted themselves as principality, political, economic, and social principality, both in the political circle, in the corporate world, in the business world in this country, they've created what I call class hegemony, which is very much accepted in the north. There's class hegemony in the north. I know you will understand. It's just a way of either you are in the class or you are out of the class. So all want to struggle, they'll be able to cancel the middle class. In education, in knowledge, in enlightenment, in awareness, there is social disequilibrium for the middle class people. So what the lower class does is, how do I catch up into the elite class? And that elite always sit down to design those things that inhibit, that work against our diversity. They stoke the ember of religion for their selfish interest. For example, a man that was the toy fascinating senator has suddenly become a religious advocate in the name of politics. Meanwhile, the Christian religion that is claimed to be practiced is not reflecting in how many wives he has. He has 3 wives as a Christian, but it was very okay for him to, when he married 3 wives, he quoted tradition. There's an African, he's an African man, he can do this, can do that. But it's about politics that is not, there's nowhere in the 1999 Constitution. It talks about you and your qualification, and religion is one part of the qualification for you to hold any political office in Nigeria. And the Constitution in Nigeria system has been so worked on over the year that we don't even need to have issues like this. There is federal character. Are we really following it? All these federal character were all designed to drive harmony among the diversity. The book of Lamentation was not put in the Bible because of Nigeria. Why do we? Yeah. Why are we looking? Why are we always lamenting? Why don't we sit back and think of solutions? Why don't we harness the opportunities that abound across? So there's nothing like Muslim, Christian. Babangida Kingibe and Abiola in 1993. They were both Muslims. Nobody talked about Muslim or Christian Muslims. You understand? If the PDP today, they are still having their own issues. Was it because of Christian, Muslim? They have Christian and Muslim. Yes, somebody still stood up to say, for his own selfish interest, you want to rock the boat. That tells you that it's about interest. Nigeria is a huge country with potential, but with few class of people who want to always gain from the chaos they want to create for their selfish interest.
Let me cut you there. Thank you very much. Haji Abawa, how do you want to respond to or want to add to what he has said? Because actually, a lot of people from different regions of the country are looking at the combination of the political parties as a problem, especially that of the ruling party. Oh, yes.
Okay, I don't see that as an issue. Why? Because I'm in it. And then the Muslim ticket they're talking about is not even a criteria. I think they shouldn't even mention your religion when they're trying to get somebody that is capable of being in a position or not. You understand? So I think they should not even bring that religion as a criteria, since we're not in the mosque or in the church. You understand? We're trying to create a good governance. We're trying to make Nigeria happy. We're trying to have peace. And all the problems we have, the insecurity that is bringing us, that is draining us and is drowning us at the same time. We're trying to make sure that everything goes on, poverty and everything. So it's not about the religion. It's not about that. Because I think if you have a problem, you can walk up to a pastor and tell him to pray for you. You can tell an imam, please pray. When I have issues, I have friends, I have Christian friends, I have Muslim friends, I'll be telling them, please pray for me, please. Are they not praying in their own religion? But I know we're all praying to one God. You understand? So I think that Muslim ticket, as I said, is not an issue. It's just about selfish interest of some particular set of people that agree that don't want to make Nigeria a better place. So I think it's not really an issue.
Thank you very much. My barrister, my learned man, how can we cash in on our ethnicity as a people? How more can we cash in on our ethnicity to make this country a better place?
Well, I think the first thing is knowing several ethnic groups in Nigeria, and I've been fortunate to live and school in all the parts of Nigeria, all the major parts of Nigeria. I know that for every ethnic group, we have our intrinsic values that tells us to respect, to love a stranger, quote and unquote. That I know for every ethnic group in Nigeria that I know of, there is a value. I don't know if it is now being lost, probably in the whole of this whole thing. There is this value that a stranger, just take a stranger you protect and love a stranger more than even the ones in your house, because the person is seen to be coming in as at a probably a disadvantage, not disadvantage in the, but is probably, he's just coming, he's stressed out, he's in need of assistance. So we need to go back to those values. And just like the Prince has said, I usually say something that what we lack, even when we discuss about unity, is sometimes the sincerity. we talk, yes, on talk shows, we have these discussions every time. But I tell people that what determines whether the problem will go away or not is if I go back to my house and I sleep on my bed, within me, what am I thinking about the other person? We have people who go back, and it pains me more when I see somebody in the presence of his children now referring to someone of another ethnic group as, oh, the problem is these people. Now, the problem is not just you that have that abused mind. Now you are bringing up a child that will grow up to know that, no, the Igbo man, the Hausa man, the Gala man is somebody, is an alien, sort of. So it is for us to go back, check inward, check ourselves. And we cannot also rule out the fact that we have to keep talking to ourselves. And the National Orientation Agency, which I feel is an agency, probably part of the problem of the agency probably is underfunded. I wouldn't know what their problem is. But the National Orientation Agency is one of the most important agencies that should exist in Nigeria at the moment, because it has a lot to do. Going back, fashioning, looking at ways where we can have discussions and play down ethnicity and religion in deciding on national issues. But we can bring up the ethnicity and when you're talking about the beauty of each ethnic group to exploit the opportunities. I've said it, tourism is, I believe we have enough resources there that are untapped. So I think that's one way we can cash in on our ethnicity to further the development of this country. But it has to begin with us.
Thank you very much. Yes, it begins with us. That's a good one. I chipped in the issue of politics here because some people feel the Christian or Muslim ticket is an infringement on diversity. Sharon?
Actually, it's not an infringement on diversity. If we put into context all that we have discussed here, I am a practicing Christian. When this issue of Muslim ticket came out, and then I saw the kind of people that were foaming in their mouths, I made one post that went viral, not as viral as Onyinye's post before. No. I made one post. I said I stood at the bus stop in Maraba, and then a bus came. I was going to Area 1, and when I saw that the driver and the conductor were of the same faith, I never wanted to enter, but because of rain, I rushed into the bus. You see, it goes to say that really this issue of religion, same ticket or whatever, is not really our problem. What we should be happy on is capacity, antecedents. What have these people done? If Prince comes out now, I've known him for some time, but we've not met as much as today. I've read some of his writings and stuff like that. So by that I know the kind of person he is. So if he comes out now to say he's contesting, or Zara, whom I know very well, she's contesting, so why should I even bother myself looking at where she came from, knowing that they possess such nationalistic values? So we should downplay all this issue of religion, blah, blah, blah. Let me give you an example. 2011, I took a brother of mine to National Hospital. He was vomiting blood. And he needed, the doctor said, he needed about 10 bags, or what do you call it? 10 pints, yeah, of blood. And then I began calling brothers here. Come, brother, so it's not well and we need blood. Please come and donate blood. Come, let the lab test you. And I have this brother who is a tailor in Barnett's Plaza. He came with his car with a lot of people in the car, all of them Muslims. He was the only Christian. And then I called another one at Papi. He came also with others, Christians and Muslims. So they tested, they do the lab test, and quite a number of them matched with what my brother needed. It taught me a great lesson there. I said, so if my brother, who is a Christian, if his blood cannot reject the blood of a Muslim, so what are we making noise about? You see, we should downplay this. The positive minds need to come together and do more of programs like this. We should not limit ourselves. A religion cannot build a market. You know what I'm talking about.
Thank you very much. Prince is itching. I can see.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, because this matter is good you brought it, because the thing is thrown up by society itself. That's why I'm discussing. So it's very important. So we shouldn't shy away. It's good because the politics. Now, I will start it from the point made by Barrister that part of the problem we even have is the orientation. Religious profiling, ethnic profiling. You profile people. You are even talking. It's to make them enemy, not to call them stranger. If it's any stranger, there's no much problem. At times, you are raising children and making them look like they are the next. Your neighbor is an enemy. And what happens if you have done child psychology? It is difficult. It is difficult for a child to have poison in mind. Because how do we learn love? My father is a traditional ruler in my place. There is this northern people that used to sell different kind of things. They came, they used to come, he give them a place to stay. One day he was there, they were praying and it was raining. He decided to build a small mosque. That's our raised. So nothing is going to change it. Before I now enter into youth leadership activism around the country, I have friends everywhere, and then I'm at home. But what of people that live in their cocoons, and their cocoons determine how Nigeria, the world view of the country. That's for religion. Now we will also begin to even address the issue of religion. I have a problem with religion. I don't have a problem with God. I have a problem with religion and the way they go about it in the country. In fact, our problem is religion and the way these people manipulate it.
Exactly.
Even God himself can never be proud of them. How can it be that in this country, I used to tell people, go and check my record in the University of Abuja. I used to tell people that I didn't enter school. Christianity is something I chose as an adult. I'm an African traditional religious practitioner. What about us? Go and check it. In fact, the late Professor Dean of Students, he used to, everything you go, before I became student union president, he used to go and say, which kind of person? He looked at my fine religion, African traditional religion. He said, sit down. He said, are you telling me this is your religion? I said, yes. That's what I'm. So how did Muslims and Christians appropriate the religious consciousness of this country? That is injustice. The same injustice that Wazobia does to the other tribes of Nigeria. Those are some of the things. Anytime you talk the Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, what arrogance?
Absolute arrogance.
What arrogance? We have to begin to look at what is justice for people in this country. What about the free thinkers? What about the keys? What about the
messengers?
Yes. What are the great messengers? What about those people? So when they talk about this, like Comrade rightly say, people like us, we have shut our mind beyond that. That's why that's why I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the other accoutramental issues. If it is about Muslim, Christian, I've gone beyond that. It does not, like he said, it has no meaning because it is what you receive inside your heart you begin to analyze and distill.
Thank you very much, Queen.
Yes.
She said she was.
Oh yes, she was itching too. So we'll give her the last shot for this one. On this one, you said you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to say something concerning this particular point that we just raised. You know, just like my fellow discussant said here, is the ability to, agree on what you want to take into your system. And once you build yourself up to that point that there are certain things that doesn't matter, honestly, those things will never matter. And I keep telling people that people who always create issues on religion and ethnicity to use it to achieve their very selfish interest, because I call it very selfish interest. in the terms of this religion, Muslim ticket, I happen to be part of those who actually sat in a conference where the real issue were discussed, and I got to understand the reason why some of the people who went out to the town to cry about it did what they did. I wouldn't want to mention them, but I must tell you that all of them that we saw discussing all of those things, creating all manner of rallies, in having debates everywhere, they were all doing it when their selfish interests that they were playing out failed, and then they thought they could use the other way to this, scatter the whole thing. And my last thing to say on this is this: please, as a parent, let us raise our children in love. When you raise a kid in love, that kid will definitely grow to be in an environment where there's always love. You will never find that place where there's hate. You never find that place where there's commotion. You never find that where there's crisis. That kid will definitely be in a place where he will always look for solution. Where there's problem, you want to solve it. And that is what the world needs. And for people who create unnecessary problem in terms of religion and ethics and always have a demarcation on it, I say to those people, I'm only praying for those people. Because, for example, when you want to elect a leader in terms of, oh, this person is from my tribe, or is from me, you will definitely ask yourself, those tribes that always cries about marginalization, are they not having representatives in different angles, in different political parties? What have they done in their region? Let us start the argument from them. I'm from Anambra State, and I'm proud to say that a particular political party and leadership has done marvelous work for Southeast, and I can mention some of the things I can quote as my points.
That will be discussion for another day.
And that will be discussion for another day. We have our brothers that have been in elective posts in the past. There are certain places that were, asking for attention and intervention. Those places were never put. And I can give an example. For example, Enugu Airport. We had series of ministers from Southeast. If I to mention, they are up to like 5. They are all from Southeast. And nothing was done in that place. Until somebody from somewhere, not from Southeast, came and fixed it. And if you ask me, who will I call my brother in all of these people? I'll definitely call that person from that far away north that speaks something from the other side, my brother. And that is what I say as religion. And that is humanity.
Like the question Jesus Christ asked about the Good Samaritan. Yes. He said, between them, who is the brother?
Thank you very much. We are rounding up on this program, on this episode of the program, but I want to give everybody the opportunity to take a last shot. Please just limit it to 30 seconds. Unity in our diversity. How do we achieve it? Comrade.
Tolerance, love, oneness, and sense of nationalism.
Thank you very much. Prince?
Thank you. Just for us to begin to not bother too much about the issue of diversity and Nigeria. Let us be Nigerians. Let us make up our mind to be Nigerians. We preach Nigeria. To raise our children in love, like you say, as Nigerians, as people that belong to humanity. Once you are a humanist, you embrace everybody, starting from the country.
Thank you, Ajay Bawa.
Unity in our diversity. First of all, we already have a problem. So sanity must be prevailed for us to be able to achieve everything. So if we have intermarriages, intertribal marriages, sports within the country, cultural showcasing, and maybe along the line we can fix in religious programs, and then where Christians and Muslims and cultural believers can all come together and form maybe a program so that we'll get to understand ourselves and where the issues are. I think all of those things will come to an end.
Thank you. Queen, we just lost a queen somewhere, but we have our own queen here.
Yeah. I would continue to say that whatever changes you want in this country, let it begin in you. Let that change start in you. If you want peace in this country, always promote peace. If you want progress in this country, please promote progress. And never you be in a situation where you be part of those who are creating the problems. And if you create a problem, don't ever ask for change, because you are not the part of those who want progress in this country. Let that changes begin to you, and that's my thing.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah, to build on what my colleagues have said, I will say, let every person begin to see God in every person. And if you see God in every person, see God also in the community of that person. If you have that mentality, if everybody should have that mentality, they will begin to see every person or region as God's place, and then we will cement our bond of unity.
Thank you. Abdullah, I know that the learned profession has a lot of words, Latin words, Latin, for everything. Do we have one for unity in diversity?
Well, I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not someone that I don't pay attention to Latin words, because I believe communication is when you are able to pass message to the other person. So I don't have, my mind is not wired to always.
Only when they are speaking with their learned community.
But my last word is that, like I've said, we have to, and it's been said that we have to individually resolve to promote what unites us and bring down what divides us. Another way out is also to keep discussing, because until we keep discussing, when you discuss, you win a convert to your side, and perhaps one day, because if we expect magic to happen, miracle won't happen to change us. So we resolve that if you cannot solve the problem, then you become part of the problem, and then we keep discussing as a people and as a nation, then I believe we can achieve unity.
I want to really thank our discussants for your brilliant contributions and opinions to this topic, and we pray that we will have another time to discuss on more issues bordering on our unity, on our progress, on our development, and everything that concerns Nigeria. Viewers, we have come to the time where we have to draw the curtains on this very important episode of the program, the Wodi Talk Show, and we've had very robust contribution from well-meaning Nigerians here with us. Nigeria will be 62 in a few weeks, and that is why we can't shy away from unity in diversity. We want to thank you for being with us. Thank you for contributing on our media platforms, and as you know, you can get us on Instagram, Wodi_NGO, Facebook, Wodi_NGO, and Twitter @NGO_Wodi. Thank you for being with us. Please be with us again on another important and interesting show.